Hey everyone, welcome to the Explainer. Look, if you've been anywhere near the tech space lately, you've definitely felt the anxiety. There's this collective panic going around that generative AI is just making traditional programming skills completely obsolete. And honestly, it's a terrifying thought if you spent years grinding away mastering syntax. But today, we're going to take a breath, look past the panic, and dive straight into the data. We're going to break down exactly why you shouldn't just learn to code in 2026 and what you absolutely need to be doing instead.
To really understand where this panic is coming from, just look at this recent bombshell. Jensen Huang, the CEO of NVIDIA, the company literally powering this entire AI revolution, went ahead and said, everyone in the world is a programmer. AI will make coding obsolete. I mean, wow. When the architect of the AI boom goes on record saying your hard-earned skills are basically redundant, yeah, it's pretty hard not to freak out a little bit.
And get this, he is definitely not the only one saying it. Andre Karpathy, one of the co-founders of OpenAI, recently declared that the hottest new programming language is English. So suddenly, all those incredibly intricate rules of Python and Java, they're getting replaced by plain, everyday human language. Honestly, it looks like all those humanities majors might finally be getting their revenge, right?
Which brings us to the massive elephant in the room, the core dilemma. If traditional coding is actually dying, what are we supposed to do? Do you just toss your computer science degree in the trash? Do you call up your boot camp and ask for a refund? Well, hang on a second. Don't do that just yet. Because the rest of this explainer holds a literal survival roadmap, and it's drawn directly from the latest engineering research.
Okay, so the main catalyst for this whole shift is this wild new concept called vibe coding. Yeah, vibe coding. It's this super high-level approach where you use AI to build software, but instead of writing out tedious technical specs, you just describe what you want from an end-user perspective. It's kind of like being the head chef at a fancy restaurant. You describe the perfect dish, and the AI's sous chefs do all the actual chopping and cooking. The contrast here is just night and day. Traditional coding was entirely about writing syntax, banging your head against the wall debugging single lines of code, and focusing heavily on the how. Vibe coding totally flips that script. Now you're prompting in natural language and orchestrating these AI agents. You focus completely on the what, and the AI figures out the how. Now, if you're sitting there thinking, okay, sure, but this is like way off in the distant future, think again. IDC recently dropped this absolutely staggering prediction. By the year 2028, 70% of net new digital solutions are going to be created using natural language. 70%. The speed at which this adoption is sweeping the industry is just mind-blowing.
But hey, before you completely spiral into doom and gloom, let's look at the flip side of this. Industry analyst Patrick Moorhead pushes back on the panic, and he makes a really great point. He says, I've been hearing for 30 years that something would kill coding, and it never has. AI won't end programming. It will expand it. The reality is, the demand for tech workers isn't vanishing at all. It's actually rising. It's just that the daily nature of the work, what you literally do when you open your laptop at 9 a.m., is evolving in a massive way.
There's this really fascinating recent archive study on human-AI collaboration that maps out this exact evolution. We're seeing a complete shift in the center of gravity. Traditionally, a developer spent all their time implementing features, but the new AI-enabled emphasis, it's all about specifying intent, orchestrating your agents, and verifying the output. You're basically getting a promotion, transitioning from the maker to the high-level system verifier.
So, the absolutely crucial takeaway from that research is something they call the barbell skill profile. Think of an actual barbell. The middle part, the routine coding, the boilerplate, those simple little bug fixes, that's the stuff being completely automated away. To survive, you need to stack the weights on both ends. On one side, you need incredibly deep foundational knowledge of computer science, and on the other, you need advanced AI collaboration skills. The researchers actually built out a framework of the exact competencies you're going to need moving forward. Let's break them down real quick. First up, technical competencies. Now, yes, technical skills still matter, but they look way different. We're not just talking about knowing React or Python inside out anymore. We're talking prompt engineering, designing complex AI workflows, building AI-native architecture, where you're designing systems that intentionally loop human oversight right into the process.
And that technical foundation feeds directly into your cognitive competencies, which honestly is probably going to be your most irreplaceable asset. When the AI is doing the heavy lifting, writing the code, your real job becomes critical evaluation and judgment. You have to validate what the AI spits out, apply systems thinking, and be incredibly clear about specifying your intent. Because let's face it, AI hallucinates. It introduces weird, subtle security flaws. Your human brain is the ultimate safety net here.
Next up on the framework, socio-technical competencies. Look, software engineering is increasingly becoming a team sport, except now half your teammates are bots. You've got to know how to manage these hybrid human-agent teams. This involves something called trust calibration. Basically, that's knowing exactly when you can trust the autonomous system to just do its thing and exactly when you need to jump in and grab the steering wheel yourself.
Then we have governance. And guys, this one is absolutely huge. Think about it. When an AI can generate 1 million lines of code in a minute, who takes the fall if it breaks compliance or accidentally leaks a ton of customer data? Spoiler alert, it's you. Risk management, responsible AI, and ethical oversight are now core engineering skills. At the end of the day, a human has to hold the accountability for whatever the system does.
Finally, they highlight organizational competencies. You're not just dragging tickets across a Jira board all day anymore. Though let's be real, Jira probably isn't going anywhere anytime soon. But instead of just closing tickets, you're actively stepping back and figuring out how to build sustainable processes. You're redesigning workflows to integrate AI seamlessly without completely burning out your human staff in the process. All right, so let's distill all of this theory into a highly actionable payload. If you shouldn't just memorize syntax in 2026, what's your actual to-do list? Here it is. Focus heavily on problem decomposition, learning how to break massive problems into small, bite-sized AI prompts. Get really aggressive about practicing how to audit AI output for sneaky bugs. Deepen your actual domain knowledge so you truly understand the business logic of what you're building. And ultimately, strive to become a T-shaped engineer, broadly adaptable across a bunch of AI tools, but with deep, specialized expertise in 1 or 2 areas that AI still really struggles with. Because here's the thing, if you don't adopt, you're going to fall straight into a trap that engineering leader Adi Osmani articulated perfectly. The trap is becoming a code janitor. And trust me, you don't want this. This is where your entire job becomes just blindly cleaning up the messy, hallucinated garbage code that an AI throws over the wall at you. It is miserable work. The goal you should be aiming for is becoming the high-leverage orchestrator. You design the big picture, you direct the AI agents, and you use them as this massive force multiplier to build incredible things way faster than you ever could alone.
Actually, Osmani really brings this entire concept home with this one powerful realization. He said, "The best software engineers won't be the fastest coders, but those who know when to distrust AI." Let that sink in for a second. That right there, that's your job security. It's no longer about how fast your fingers fly across a keyboard. It's your critical human oversight. It's your judgment. That's what makes you valuable.
So as we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with a bit of a provocative thought. The tech landscape has permanently shifted. The era of the pure syntax typist, yeah, that's ending. But the era of the AI-empowered architect is literally just beginning. So the real question isn't whether AI can code. The question is, will you let AI replace you, or are you going to use it to amplify you? The choice of what you decide to learn next is entirely up to you. Thanks so much for joining me today, and keep learning.